So we're gonna get back on this carburetor here. We are going to take this off first. Kind of look at those jets there. Okay, I'm running into a little bit of problem here. So as you remember, I had to use this on that little screw right here for the carburetor because they're in there with the wrong screwdriver. Now I was able to get this one out with this JIS type screwdriver. So that's what they should have used, but they didn't. So there's another one. See, these screwdrivers are made like that for a reason. I mean, these screws. And you need to use the proper screwdriver. They don't want you in there, so that's why they do that. Yeah. I always say the right tool for the job because it's made like that. They don't want you in there. So you got to use the stuff that they use. So I'm going to have to use this again. This one's got pretty a good flat bill on it. So someone, like I said, has already been messing around. You can see that they took a grinder and they put in a slot there. And that works in a pinch, but don't put the doggone thing back in there. Replace it with something different. You know? I'm gonna try to get this in there as much as possible. Maybe. Boy, oh boy. The things I run into. Okay, so I had to take it over there to the vise. I had to slowly tap it. You would not believe what this thing looks like now. Let's show it to you here. What else are they hiding? So, yeah. So I'm going to have to replace. I'm going to replace all of them with the regular Phillips. I do that now and again, even if I don't find them mangled, so the next person won't have a problem. But yeah, let's see if this. Oh yeah, okay. See, this is the right screwdriver for the right job. I think what they did, we'll see in a minute, but I think what they did is that they got to that one, they mauled that one all up. They really mauled that one up, and they just said forget it. Which I don't blame them, because well, I'm glad they didn't, because you know. All right, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. This thing has got me going already. All right, so sometimes what you do, well, not sometimes, but it's what I do. I take a little pick. Can you see that? I take a little pick and I go inside here with this little cotter. Slide that out. Lose it underneath your vibrasonic, of course. Hold on a second. Oh. Yeah, way back there. Oh, goodness. Whoa. Hold on a second. Okay, so we got that little cotter there, and we have the small washer so it can get into our, oh, of course we got to break out our muffin tray. I love that thing. All right, so I'm going to take this assembly off here. Be careful because the float is there, so you have to, oh, and the spring right here, take that spring out so you don't lose that. Put it in our tray. Now this one right here kind of, yep, All right, let's check it out. See, that looks not that bad, but then again, I see a little bit of varnish down inside there. So we are glad that we took that out. Either they mauled those screws up going in or out. I can already see something I don't like here. Let me show you real quick. Let me take this off. Okay, so this, see that line right there? It doesn't look exactly right. I'm gonna have to measure it, have to look at the OEM. See how that goes down pretty quickly. So you know that little tin plate right there is not right. So it should be, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it has to be parallel. But do you see it kind of drooping right there in the front here? That's not good. So you got to have that correct, or you're going to be in a world of trouble. You really are. Because the simple fact is that this float has to be exact. Like straight up and down, like, okay? I'll show you how to do that later on. All right, let's take our pick. Let's see what way it goes in and out. Does it go that way with a little bit of force? No. Go this way. Does it go this way? A little bit of force. Might have to get a little tap action. All right, so we're gonna go like this. Then we are going to get our straight pick. Let me go get that real quick. Okay, so I finally found my little straight one. This is the one I like to use the most. It's just, I actually got this from Harbor Freight years ago. It came with all these little other picks, but this straight one is my go-to. So it just goes right down in there. You see how good it gets in there? You just tap that out. Nice and neat. Okay. There you go. Now what I like to do, I like to kind of look for any imperfections. You're going to have a little bit of focus. You're going to have a little bit of that on there. That's where it was inside those ears. But if you have it anywhere on the outside or anything like that, pay attention, because that's the way that you don't want to try to put it back in. You get my drift. All right, so let's take that out. Let's inspect that. I don't know if I'm going to put a kit in this or not. I'm going to have to take it all apart and see. So far, so good. Put that to the side. Okay, now we are going to take this. There we go. Okay. Sorry, my hand's in the way. That one over there. Okay. Let's see if I can see through it. So that's okay. Alright, now we are going to get a small wrench for that one. Have to get my light and look down inside there. That one. Yeah, this particular carburetor antifreeze runs through this tube to heat it up when you're trying to cold start it. Pretty good idea. A lot of people crack these, and so everybody thinks that it's not a good idea, but I think it's pretty cool that Kawasaki came out with that. Let me go get that other wrench. Okay, that was actually a 5/16 socket. All right. You know we're going to have to clean out those little tubes there. All right. That one doesn't appear to have any kind of flathead screw on it. This is your seat here. Doesn't look to be. Let's look at that real quick. Okay, I do see a little flathead screw down in there. I mean a little flathead area. So we're going to go ahead and try to get this out of there as painless as possible. There she goes. Ooh, that thing was tight. Alright. Have to... that little bitty old thing. Alright. Where is my... I just had it. Okay. Let's see what's down in there. Boy, that is a bright light. Let's see if I can't get it to dim a little bit. Right there. I like this light. I've had it for years, but sometimes it's too bright. Okay. Now, there is a smaller one. I can't remember if it was on this side or the other side. No, it's not on there. Okay. Okay, it was just that one. Alright, so I'm gonna go after the diaphragm now. Hopefully they didn't get that far. Let's see if these work. Hopefully they didn't get that far. Yeah, they didn't get that far. This one sits right down in there. Okay, good. Alrighty. I'm not knocking anybody about it. It just makes it for a harder experience for the next guy. And for selling something to someone, please be honest and say, hey, you know what, there could be some screws that need to be replaced. I would have been fine with that, but you know how people are. Yeah, put it in the comments if you ever bought something and it was very unexpected what you got when you got home. Yeah, I like hearing everybody's stories and that. Very cool. Very cool to me. I like hearing the comments. I'm sure someone's had the same problem with someone using the wrong tools on something. I mean, it doesn't even have to be JIS or nothing like that. It has, I mean, it would be like, okay, remember that spring in there. Alright, now the needle should come out right with the spring. Well, this is like the needle keeper or whatever, if you will. Needle keeper. I don't know what the technical word for it is. Let's get that needle out of there. Oh wow, the needle and everything's just... Oh yeah, that's nasty in there, guys. Okay. Well, glad that we went this far. Now this is a good practice to inspect the needle. And yeah, look how nasty that is. Yeah, that's not gonna... That needs to be... I mean, there can't have no rough surfaces or anything on that needle. So be careful. Now, let's check this bad boy out here, because this is pretty grody in there. Yeah. Oh, it smells like oil a little bit also. So, yeah, someone's been like spraying maybe some oil or something. That looks a little discolored right there, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't see any cracks or anything like that. Let's do the light test. I like this. The light test. See if there's any pinholes. Any cracks. Okay, so far so good. I know it sounds strange, but I like using the OEM parts. They just fit, you know. And the world is full of aftermarket stuff that don't jive. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's nasty down in there. Yeah. Well, they didn't have that part off of there. Yeah, like I said. All right. So let's get that pump side off of there. Probably another JIS. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a regular screwdriver. I mean, Phillips, but it's not. Watch. Where'd my regular Phillips go? Oh, right here. My regular Phillips, right? Now, it doesn't sit inside there quite, but oh, Joe Schmo he'll sit there and grind on that thing and, you know. No. Watch how easy this is. It fits right down in there. Didn't even have to very tightly turn it. It fits so well. So, alright, we have to inspect this. That's got a little spring to it too. But we have to inspect this also, this part. Okay, remember that spring was like that. And that this is the one that gives you the problems all the time. It doesn't even matter what make or model it is. This is the one that gives you the problems. This is the one that gives you the problems. And I'll show you here in a minute. So you have to very carefully take your nail without ripping it, of course. Slide that bad boy out of there. Alright. And just like we did the test for the other one, let's look at this one. This one is almost always got the cracks right here by this metal part. So it's got a kind of like a little mesh in there, you know. So let's peel this back a little bit. Just a tad, not a whole lot. Don't go ham on it. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and, yeah, see this one? Yeah, they might have, this might be a brand new kit. That's the reason why these diaphragms are looking swell like that. Yeah, see? It still has like the integrity around that little, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see it, but let me get a pointer here. So right around that area, right there, where this meets that, it's always cracked. But watch this. When you go like that, you won't be able to see those cracks. So you take it out, you're like, oh man, that looks just fine. And put it back in. No, don't do that. Always peel it back just a tad to see. And it has, like I said, it has that little mesh in there. So it's kind of tough. But once it breaks down, that's the first part where it starts to crack at. Okay, enough babbling on. I'm rocking and rolling here. Okay. That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. The boot. The boot. does not appear to have any cracks or anything like that. That's good. All right. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. Because as soon as you take the eye off the ball on these carburetors, they're going to bite you in the butt. Every time. You can take that to the bank. All right. So let's go like this. Okay. This is nice. This is nice, and it's got that good spring to it. Let's see what kind of gap we're working with. Oh wow, yeah, that's really nice. That's super. That's super right there. Okay. All right. But as you can see all that crud? It's not exactly macaroni. It's just like carbon or something. If you follow my show, you know what the macaroni is. So yeah, we're going to order a new kit. We are going to order a new cable. See, that one's all frayed. Goes up to here. Had to get that off of there when it comes in. I like to when the parts are here, then I like to disassemble the rest. You know, get the cable off and that. And yeah, I mean it's kind of straightforward for right now. Waiting on parts. So we're kind of like a standstill. Yeah, so like I said, we're at a standstill. I do appreciate everybody coming along with me. I know this is kind of drawn out, but the holiday is really putting a damper on the shipping and that. But waiting on parts. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun little project. Well, with that being said, remember, it's just nuts and bolts, and God bless. Not a bad looking little bike.